But
Okay,
so
perfect.
I'm gonna
Now,
tag you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. So there's two screens. There's one with like a closer up and there's one further. Which one is the one? Or does like I'm just
Are
curious.
you on a laptop?
No, I'm on my phone.
Oh, I don't know. There's two
Oh,
screens. I think one of the screens is like a monitor screen. Like
yeah.
I,
Okay, one's just me. One's just me, and
yeah,
then
you could
one's
do.
both of us. So,
Well,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, they're seeing both of us, just like you see. I'm not sure what you're seeing over there. I'm not sure how it works on the phone.
it's all good. It's all good, dear.
Let me see here. Oh, I'm gonna tag you, so it'll show up on your page.
Thank you.
Uh, let's see. A. Yep, there we go.
It's funny. I
And
thought it would be on Zoom.
YouTube, you're you have a YouTube? I see you on YouTube too, though. Is it Harmony? Are you Harmony
Yes,
on? So
I'm Harmony Unity.
you're Harmony Unity, Harmony Unity. And I'm sorry I'm late. I didn't realize I was doing an update on the network and community, and I was going to go an hour, and it went 2 hours. But people had
I
questions
love
and
it.
stuff. Yeah, it's
I
pretty.
love it, Todd. I love it. I saw that you were just still streaming. So I
Yeah,
was like, it's all cool.
yeah, yeah,
You know, these are wonderful opportunities for us to just
yeah, yeah.
breathe, right? And
Exactly.
trust
Yeah.
we're flowing. And even, before we begin, Todd, are we live right now? It doesn't
Yes,
matter if
we've been live for a minute
yes.
and 41 seconds.
Yay.
We got 29 people in the house, and more will be coming. Oh, let me put up the comments so I can see.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah, we got
Um,
friends here. Yeah,
Wonderful. Soul was guiding Todd for us to take three slow, deep breaths to
okay.
harmonize the field, harmonize all our hearts together as one with this new, beautiful energy that's coming through.
Yeah.
So, whenever you'd like, I'd love to just guide us through that simple
Well,
thing and go from
let's
there.
do that now. Let's set the tone. Let's do it now. Feels
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
You
yes.
lead us. You lead us there.
I totally will. I'd love to. All right. Okay, everyone, let's just take a slow, deep breath into the heart together. Holding and let go. And again, nice and slow. Breathing into the heart, hold and relax. And one more. Breathing in, hold and let go. And let's just stay here for a few moments, letting ourselves come into the body, come into the heart, letting everything else go. Nice and gentle and slow. We are here right now, right here in this moment, together as one in this beautiful harmonized field. The new energies. Can you feel the new energies, everyone? Just behind the matrix, just behind this illusion, this old, our rainbow skies, our rainbow crystallized mountains that you can fly over in your rainbow light body, your energy pod, our crystallized, iridescent, beautiful waters of the seas, the lakes, the oceans, and gorgeous rainbow crystallized forests. All of Gaia, the new, she is here. Mother is here. Venus energy is here. Divine source love is here. So let's all just breathe into that and relax.
Mm.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
How long?
Here we are.
That's a wild looking lamp.
A
That's young
wild looking.
lamp. That's
Oh,
sacred.
lamp.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? I'm
That's
okay.
it's
Okay,
a,
where
it's
am
a
I
bit.
pointing here?
Yeah, I know it's a mirrored. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
That's
and
wild.
I'm away right now. I'm on retreat. Soul said
Oh,
you gotta go. I'm like, I don't want to go
now where?
again for
Now,
a month.
now
Yeah.
where do you live? Where do you?
Yes. I live in mid Vancouver Island.
Okay,
It's
you're in
called,
Vancouver. Yeah,
yeah, Vancouver Island. It's an
yeah,
island, not the city.
yeah. I know where
So
it
I
is.
live in the middle. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
I've met several people over the
Yeah.
years. Like I want to say 12, 15 people that live on Vancouver Island. It's supposed to be lit, lit. Yeah.
You know what, Todd? I came here, it's our ninth year, my husband and I. And Sven, my husband, is from here originally, but we
Hmm.
met in Toronto
Okay.
14 years ago
Did you
on
know Franco?
eHarmony.
Did you?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Did
Franco's
you?
been showing up since you first reached out to ask me if you said, let's talk, let's, do a show. And Franco showed up like within half an hour, smiling and laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so totally, yeah, very close with Franco. Met him in 2006. Yeah,
Wow. You've
and
known
then
him a long time. You knew him
yes,
before
I have.
Kimberly and him
Yeah,
hooked up.
yes, I did. He was with his previous partner when I knew Franco, and he did not speak then, Todd. I remember telling you he was a wallflower.
Oh.
So he was very quiet and observing. And then in 2010, Antonia, a mutual friend and close with Franco at the time, had him speak, and she had it on a program on a webinar. And I listened to the recording, and my jaw just hung open because the truth that was pouring out of him just was like,
Yeah.
who is this guy? Yeah,
Well,
pure love embodied. Yeah,
oh my God, he's. You know, I talked to
here.
Kimberly. Probably not as often as we've all been busy, but I talked to her last week and a few weeks before, and she's doing well, by the way. And you know, you
Wonderful.
know, the last few times I talked to her, I actually saw his silhouette two times back, and then
Wow.
this last time, he was obviously present to the point where
Yeah.
she was emotional, and but
Ah,
also he's been popping in, and that's why I was kind of following up with you because he's on the front end of it somehow. Like we're on the front end of
yes,
it
he is.
here. He's on the front end
Yes.
of it over there, and I wouldn't be surprised, just based on what's happening recently, that we're going to start seeing things, so to speak.
Yes.
But anyway, going back to Franco, I didn't know that. I've seen some stuff that's 10, 12 years old, but I hadn't seen anything prior to that. That would have been like 2012, 2011. But it's
Yeah.
interesting because I think Morgan came on to Facebook in 2011, if I
Okay.
remember correctly. And she was getting that push, like a lot of them, right? Like, hey, you're getting all the downloads, now you need to go share it, And you've heard people come
Yes.
on. I know she did it, or like they'd put up the post and they start crying. Oh my God, what are people going to think? Or two people see it. So it was back in those days when it was just starting to. But
Yes.
Franco found her, and Franco
Ooh.
used to send her stuff through Messenger. I guess he,
Okay.
picked a few people and started sending stuff out. So whenever he came into our field, was in um, we were in Hawaii, so it was early 2019. God, is that right?
I know it's hard to remember now. Don't worry about it, Todd.
I'm just thinking like,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's also the coding and the memories are so rich. Um,
Yes.
but I remember whenever that happened, she goes, "Oh, this guy." She pulled out her messenger like, So he was doing it. He was doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, but I was going to say too, in the '90s. Now get this.
Yes.
In the
Yes. He had small
'90s,
groups or yeah,
well,
I remember he
he
said what
act,
36 years he'd been doing
yeah.
that at
Well,
Soulogy Fest.
he toured with. You know how they would have the like the what do you call them, like symposiums or conferences, and it would be
Yes.
like Tony Robbins and like Brian Tracy and Zig Ziglar, and it would be all those self-help type gurus because the New Age or the alternative really hadn't come out, and he actually toured with
Yeah.
them. He actually toured with them, but and I said,
Wow.
well, how did you speak? He said, well, I had to speak in you know, very 3D terms or whatever the case is. In fact, when he came on Soulogy, would have been March 2019.
Yes.
I remember the first episode because me, I'm like, what? No, tell me this, tell me that. And
Yeah.
he said something about there's certain things I can't say. And I said, well,
Mm-hmm.
anytime somebody tells me that, Jason Skirka came on and he was telling me his whole thing. And he's like, well, we can't divulge these secrets. And I'm not making fun of you, Jason. I'm just making a point. But to me, it's all free information. We're free souls. It's a free universe. So why are you holding anything back? You
Yeah.
got secret
Yeah.
information. Now, Franco made the same comment, but it was a different tone. He was more of not trying to, like, you know, create this wall of discretion or whatever. It was merely that he had not been in front of an audience where he could speak freely.
Wow.
So within the next, by the second or third show, we were talking about everything. But yeah,
I
that's
love
cool.
that, Todd. That's how I discovered you. I was trying to think today, and I'm pretty sure it was because Franco, who I'd been connected with for some time, was on your show. And so, of course, I started watching like many other friends of Franco and then discovered your amazing platform and group.
Yeah.
So I love all these connections. Like the energy I was feeling today is the timing of this and that it's been a long time coming, you and I connecting and the Franco connection. And wow, what a time on the planet. Like, look what's happening.
I
And
know.
the energy, yeah, the energy today, I don't know, like, how are you feeling? I was feeling different, a bit
Were you?
more lighter. Yes, I'm feeling it was
Uh,
tough yesterday, but I feel
uh,
better today.
well, my understanding yesterday was really powerful. Morgan says it's a 33-6 day. She's kind of come up with this way of
Organizing, like I saw
forecast.
her
Yeah,
post.
yeah, like
Yeah,
forecasting the
forecasting.
month, and
Yes,
it's
amazing.
pretty freaking accurate because it all
Yeah.
started kind of like formulating last year, and then she really nailed it last month. But for I would say that because my life experience is I have one foot in the southern hemisphere and one in the northern hemisphere, and because she's who she is, she's like an antenna, probably like you,
Hmm.
right? So not only does she get things a little early, but I, through my interaction with her in our sessions and whatever I experience, I'm kind of introduced. So the 22nd for me was the 23rd for them.
Yes.
And that day it got all started, and it took me from one end and out the other, and I mean, wrung me out. And it wasn't a bad thing, it was just a lot of colossal information. So when I woke
Yes.
up yesterday, I was just destroyed, man.
Yes. Yes. It's a lot. I
I was
heard.
just,
Okay. Love.
yeah. I
Go.
mean, physically, I was just destroyed, and then it became a great day. But I think the way I would describe it is the way that you started the show out, which
Yeah.
is kind of like, and even like with this whole Soulogy network and community thing, it just came out of nowhere. Okay, I thought it'd be months still. It's been years, and
Hmm.
and all of a sudden, boom! It just kind of happens, and you're like, okay, go do this, go do that, go do this. This person comes, this person comes. But I guess what I'm saying is the way you started it was kind of like, I'll paraphrase it, like no rush, no worries, no stress. Everything's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
that
Love
vibe
that.
is showing its face more and more every day, and then right next to it is all this BS. Ukraine and this and that, and I'm going, wow, how's this going to work? Is the whole
Yeah.
freaking world going to be like, holographically destroying itself, and we're just going to keep expanding? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like this is what's happening. Does it make sense? No, but has any of this? So enough about that.
Yeah.
How
I
did you
love.
get this? How did you get this weird? Where are you from?
Ah.
You
Yeah.
mentioned
Gosh.
you have a partner, which is always a very important thing, I think, in this day and age for any relationship that has sustained itself and expanded itself, because it's tough on individuals,
Yeah.
it's tough on couples, it's tough on groups, families, you name it. But yeah,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about you.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, let's see where to begin. So basically, I was born just because it's relevant, the island theme here. I was born in a little island in the Indian Ocean called Sri Lanka or Ceylon,
Oh,
and I came to Canada when I was 4. So I had to learn the language and everything. But that was, I don't remember struggling too much. Of course, growing up in Hamilton, Ontario, just outside Toronto, was a working steel city town, and my dad worked for the university. But I dealt with racism. I dealt with not belonging. My name is Sharmini Ganagaraja. My full name is like the alphabet, so long. And so, you get made fun of. And of course, like all of us, we just want to fit in, right? So
yeah,
there was all kinds of neat challenges there, which I came to embrace. Then moved to Toronto. My journey is that, like, I'm the eldest and a Virgo, super sensitive, had no idea, and felt responsible for everyone, including my parents, but also like complete strangers, anybody, Gaia, like when I see things happening to the planet. I found out later I literally embodied the destruction of Gaia in my own womb and had a lot of problems, a lot of health issues. Yeah, I mean, I was, my husband calls me a genetic mutant ninja. He's like, you should be in a wheelchair, no teeth, no hair, because of what I've been through. But yeah, I had an eating disorder for 23 years because of all the energies that I was feeling. I would numb it with food, and I would help so many people give out all this energy. And I was shaky, and yeah, it was also triggered by mom telling me at 16, like, you need to be back to 100 pounds when I came back a little bit chunky from a trip to Europe with my girlfriend. And so I took all those things very seriously, right? So, all those, like a lot of taking on other people's things without realizing, and taking on a lot of darkness without realizing, and just getting overwhelmed with all that. I did the 3 degrees, so I was like super perfectionist, slave driver, pressure cooker. And I know we all have these programs, right? I mean, these are universal themes. And then, Todd, I got to tell you, so I was successful in the traditional sense, and I
mm-hmm.
I didn't realize who I was because of where I grew up, and I conformed and I had to fit in, although I didn't really fit in because I felt so much. So my parents were like, "Why are you so sensitive?" And I couldn't sleep since I was a baby, chronic insomniac, like a lot of just nervousness and holding energies and not realizing. So in 2010, 39 years old, and I burnt out. And it had been coming. It had been coming like 10 years before. I was this close to just, I couldn't sleep for a month. The doctor was giving me pills, and I was like, what is wrong with me? But we ended up going on a trip to Sri Lanka, my mom and my sisters, and that saved me. Going on this 5-week journey we had saved up, being in paradise, traveling, it kind of gave me more energy. So I went another 10 years or so, and then the burnout, it was just undeniable. Soul was like, you gotta wake up now. You did what you're supposed to do, all that old stuff. You're quote unquote successful. You got 3 degrees, an MBA, physiotherapy degree, pre-meds, like all of this stuff, but it was never me. I was always the heart person, always connecting that way. I didn't care about money and status and stuff. So the burnout was tough. 2010, I had to go off on medical disability with depression, anxiety, very shameful for me. I didn't understand what was wrong with me. Yeah, I just felt like a loser. I felt like a loser.
Man, that's a that. Well,
Yeah.
how many of us could relate to
Relate?
that? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that
And
the whole pattern, the energetic pattern, and even like your self assessment. Like, man, that's what a setup.
yeah, what a setup. Franco gave me some insights over the years. Like he's like, Charmony's soul doesn't do anything half-ass. Extreme soul signature. And Todd, I remember someone telling you, you're crazy. You're like a salmon, you swim upstream. You go
Hmm.
opposite,
Well,
right?
he told me the
So,
same thing. he t- I I spent 2 nights with him in Sedona, and we shared a condo, Kimberly, and that's one of the things he told me. He said he walked. I was sitting at the table, and he walked up to me, you know, and he was about to leave. They were going to go somewhere, and he locked eyes with me, and I'd only seen him do that one other time. It was the first time Morgan and I ever had a. We'd done 4 or 5 shows, and I already knew
yeah.
like there was a synergy with him and a brotherhood, and of course the connections with the couples too. It was, but so he was on that, and he was talking to us on Zoom, and all of a sudden he just went quiet, and he's staring at us, and I could literally see the energy. Now it wasn't really from him; it was just like the energy I could see between Morgan and I and him, the space almost. I could see something was being transmitted. So that went on for like 4.5 minutes, and then he stopped. He goes, "That was for you," and we're like going, "Holy shit!" But he
Yeah.
did the same thing to me in Sedona, and we got to spend 2 nights together. Um, we talked extensively about things. I had a major download the next day, but when he was about to leave, he walked up to me and he did the same thing, and his eyes got all glazy, and he looked at me and he said, "Your soul just told me something." I'm like, "Okay, uh, your soul says that you still have a bit of shame and guilt because of your behavior." And I said, "If there's anything left, that's probably it, right?" And he said, uh, "Just understand, your soul goes in all the way, you know." But as I looked around at Morgan and I looked around at other people that like you, I realized that the A team, if there's an A
Yeah.
team, without creating any superiority,
Yeah.
the attribute
Yeah.
is that it's a stubborn human comes from a stubborn soul, and a stubborn
Yeah.
soul would be the perfect uh, type of energy for this mission because it's going to take someone that's tough, someone that's
Yeah.
not going to give up, even to the point of an obstinate teenager type of mentality. Because, yeah, so I think a lot of people can relate to what you're talking about.
Des-
So,
Describing, yeah, it's that journey, like of and for me, it was like I was the golden child, and my parents were like, oh, she did so good. And I just,
mm,
had this feeling to make them proud because I saw them suffer as immigrants, and I
yeah,
carried that. I was like, oh my God, they did so much sacrifice
yeah,
for me. And then it's like I crashed and burned,
yeah.
totally became the black sheep. And the hardest part, Todd, was like, so that was 2010. It's 2023. What do you do, Sharmini? What do you do? How do I explain what I do? And the thing is, that was the hardest for me, is this is where my real hell started, was that burnout. Because I was left alone as by soul design with my own brutal thoughts
Yeah.
for over a decade. I isolated in shame
Now you're
and
talking
just in,
from 2010 all the
yes,
way to
this is like
2020. Holy
yeah,
crap!
like we're talking like not that long ago. I was
Oh,
still
I
helping
thought you
people
were.
and yeah,
I mean, I just and see here we go. But I just
yeah,
talked to a girl yesterday that
yeah.
really didn't reawake until 6 months ago, and I was telling Morgan last night because I don't think she watched that show. I said the crazy thing is, and I've seen it before, on this show,
Yeah.
that the energy is such that lady Jessica is up to speed, and she just reawoke
Yeah.
6 months ago.
That
So
show, I watched it. I
yeah,
watched you
isn't that
guys. I
wild
watched
though?
most of it. Yeah. And for me, I'm gonna say I was awake. Like I have like what you were describing, that stubborn soul. So I have like an obsessive drive. So like I would die for this. I live for this and I have died for this, the oneness and unity, and to understand this human experience. Like I literally drove myself crazy seeking and trying to figure out, why are we here? Why does this happen? Why do I have rage when I have so much love? I didn't understand that it's two sides of the same coin. If you can feel that much love, I felt so much, I feel so much love. It's been really hard to feel all that. And then the rage terrified me. It was like, what the hell is this? This is a monster.
Yeah,
But it took me years to realize, nope. So the other thing, Todd, is so no one was really able to help me. And I tried. I spent tens of thousands of dollars. I was like super optimistic. We're all one, love dove, like all of that, Hay House. And then I went into, all kinds of different programs, modalities, but I was not allowed to ever, uh, you know, like fall in love with a modality and just become that practitioner and have that identity. It was like nothing fit me. Nobody could see me. And so even when I signed up for programs with, mentors that looked like or sounded like and said, this is the end of all seeking, and they didn't understand me, and I get rejected and abandoned by them and feeling even shittier about myself. But like knowing there's something in here, because my husband, he saw it. And then I find out later, everybody I connect to spontaneously in flow or worked with, they saw it, but I couldn't see it. And he said,
that's
you have
crazy.
this thing. Yeah, you have this thing. You just connect heart to heart, boom, like that with people. And I didn't know that. I was just being me, Todd. The soul would just come in. Yes,
Yeah,
I had programs of rescuing, saving,
well, of
overgiving,
course.
but there was a purity in the oneness and unity vibration that is embedded in my soul, that would come through, connect directly with whoever, complete strangers, top psychiatrists at the biggest forensics hospital in Canada, like where the sickest of the sickest, psychopaths go. And these guys and women and different people, when I spoke to them, they were right there with me. And we're talking complete strangers in nightclubs, homeless people who,
When you
I
say
saw,
when
yeah,
you say right there with you, what do you mean by
yeah.
that? Like they're
Uh, they're in the field. And I didn't realize this. So I carry a oneness and unity field. It's a pure heart, massive field of love.
when you're in those situations, there's a common denominator or a uniform kind of a uniform energetic frequency from the mirror, whether
Yeah,
it's
they
the
tap into
homeless or
love.
yeah,
They tap into the love and the oneness that we all are underneath all the other stuff, right?
yeah.
I didn't know that. And people would tell me, you tell me exactly what I needed to hear. And it was only after I heard that a bunch of times, and we're talking like I would not talk to someone for 4 or 5 years. Let me give you an example. Vice president of a hoity-toity rental company in Toronto, and I needed a reference because we had rented a place in Toronto. And suddenly our landlord died here in Vancouver Island, and we were thrust into this housing crisis. We've got pets. Like it was just, some of the biggest fears are like, holy shit, where are we going to live?
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to call this fellow up. It's been 4 years. We've only talked one or two times. And like we just have a heart to heart, like 1 hour conversation. And he's like, Sharmini, I needed to hear this, what you're telling me. And that's when I started to realize, like, oh my God, maybe there is this thing or something that I'm doing. Because again, you're not allowed to see yourself. That's for all of us, right? Whether it's the darkness, how dark it goes and deep. And Franco would text me and say, the gates of hell are open again, Sharmini. And he would shock. He knew I was in hell. I was in the deepest depths of hell by myself. My husband, as agreed to us, very loving, quite connected, was disconnected intentionally as the souls agreed.
Wow.
could not see that this soul who is this bright, vibrant, loving, turned into this, like laying in bed 75% of the time for years. I don't know, 8 years, because I had autoimmune, all undiagnosed. Franco told me
Now
self-destruction. Yeah.
this is wild. Okay,
Okay, awesome.
this is wild because I have met, and it really started to make sense when I met him. Because
Okay.
I had already met and interviewed enough people. I probably had done 16, 1700. I don't know how at the time, but and and when I heard his story and then got to know him personally, because I don't, people still don't realize. I just Kimberly and I were talking the other night, and he should have been dead like
Yes.
3, 4 years prior.
Yes.
The last medical doctor he went to was a year, like I want to say about 15 months before he came to Sedona for the first Soulogy Fest. Told him, I don't know how you're standing up. You got, I think it was 4 organs that are less than 25%, and the heart shouldn't even, the heart does, the heart can't be working. You should be dead. That was when
Yes.
he left and never went back. But anyway, I noticed that there was a frequency of Lyme's disease, autoimmune,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, lupus. What's that condition where your muscles freeze up? Um, uh,
Fibromyalgia, or no,
Fibromyalgia, and a
myalgia.
couple of other ones.
There's
And I
chronic
was
fatigue.
chronic fatigue, and so I was
Fatigue.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, what the hell's going on? These are high frequency people. And then I met Franco,
Yeah.
and I started tapping into it. I talked to him about it. So there was something going on there. There's something going
Yeah.
on there, whether it's fuckery or whether it's just a
Yeah.
physical characteristic that's common to people like you. But see, I find this to be some of the most captivating and voluminous code sharing goes from like you, Franco, like you, because here is a person who from the get go, is lit, like lit, like you know what I mean. Your energy speaks
Yeah.
before you get to the room. At the same time, 8 years, eight
Oh,
years
yeah.
in this chronic fatigue and autoimmune, and I mean
And extreme
that's
hormonal
yeah,
problems,
yeah,
bleeding out, hemorrhaging. I didn't even realize, like, hi, go to a doctor, get some help. Nor did my husband. Like, I'm cleaning up blood, huge amounts of blood all the time. But I don't, it was all blocked, as set up by the soul. And
right,
even Franco is the one, it shocked me when he said to me, self-destruction, self-hatred, self-rage. And that's why your body is sick. It's attacking itself. That's the, fundamental basis of autoimmune, is the body attacking. So, a lot of us have varying degrees of this inner war as part of the design of this grand experiment of massive separation from source, the greatest experiment ever done in any holographic experience, I feel, because to go as far as we have, and Franco would say this, like, I love that it's all coming back. We love to take it to the max. The
yeah,
souls love to, and the humans love to take it to the max. Humans, of course, like, we're not aware of, like, the whole bigger thing. We're becoming more. But, he would say, and we experienced that, right? Like, as souls who took on more, we're all equal here. And Franco would say, some just take on more because they
yeah,
can.
yeah,
And because it's fun on a soul level, it's like, hey, why not go do that crazy shit. You almost die a bunch of times, and just go for it, because it's like this buffet of sensorial experiences that the soul expands through, and that is uploaded into the source data banks, the living libraries of all, right? So we also learn from this, because we know now what we don't want, what we don't need to do, because of going through, what we knew isn't right for us. And we also know who we are more, because we had to go through who we're not. So
yeah.
this grand experiment of separation, yeah, it's very extreme and intense. And so basically, through all this, we got to grow a lot, but it was hell for the human. And he told me, because I went through suicide, feeling suicidal for like 10 years. And he said, you're carrying collective suicidal states. And it was also familial, and I took on extra for the family. I remember being shocked. This is like 2011, a session with Franco, and he's like, oh, yeah, your soul said, I'm strong. I'll take that on. You don't want to clear that extended family members? I'll take it. And so there was all this other stuff. Master of suffering, he said. Like I had no clue. But later I realized, my God, when you can finally see yourself more and what you were going through. So I wanted to die many, many times. I literally felt trapped here because I felt like a loser. I felt useless because even though I was helping all these people, all the time. I couldn't monetize it, Todd. I was not allowed. And then you get the poverty consciousness,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Yeah, there's some of that. Okay. Because anytime us humans go outside the box, the fear program is there of starving artist or whatever you want to call it to terrify so that you don't entrepreneur, you don't be in your true power. But beyond that, I finally took me years because I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I make a living, even a little bit of money off of my my heart work? But honestly, I came to realize there is some of us here carrying unity consciousness, and that's from the future. And I'm going to tell you, Frank only alluded to this point once, but it stuck with me. He said, in unity consciousness, there's no exchange. There's no exchange. It
Right.
is pure sharing of your
That's
gifts,
right.
right? Because there's no survival. There's no survival. It is archaic. It is, my soul came through recently. I was just soaking in the tub and it said, Charmony, why are you even thinking of survival? How could you be afraid of anything? How could you be scared that you're not taken care of? Do you know what you hold? Do you know what is inside of you, what you bring in? This is for all of us because we're here now, guys. We're here now. This old shit has got to go. It is done. That fear, lack of abundance, money, fuck that shit. Pardon my
I love
French,
it.
but I'm very
I
passionate.
love these. I love these guys. I love these priestesses that come in here dropping f bombs, man. It's
I am very passionate. And I've always been like this. My friends are like, oh, Charmony, it's not just a pretty flower. It's a fucking pretty flower. It's that. So this is going on a long time, but I am really, want us to know that we are fucking brilliant. We are the brightest diamond that you can imagine, that even beyond anything you've ever seen. Multifaceted, iridescent, rainbow sparkling, the gem, the purity of source in this physicality. And we are remembering now. We are remembering. So survival, all of that shit. And the other thing that goes with that is we're in a quantum leap portal now, guys.
yeah.
And if you want a quantum leap, we're here for this. Okay. We're
Right.
here for this. The forerunners are here to quantum leap and bring everyone with us. When I see people talking about decades or hundreds of years, like I want to puke. And I
No.
used to feel like, what's wrong with me? When I used to feel like this triggering, when I would see like, people going into crypto that are in the spiritual, and we got to make more money. And I'm like, make more money? Why? You gonna rape and pillage Gaia? Because that's what happens when you make more money. More money. You want to build a bunch of transformational retreat centers. Where's that wood gonna come from? Where's that? To me, everything is energy first. We know this. It's all consciousness. You cannot change what is currently here from the same energy that created it. That's
That's right.
insane. Can't
That's
do that. So crypto and making more money so
yeah.
we can help more people. Like I always wanted to vomit, and I used to think, okay, what's up, Charmony? Look at this. But now I get it, Todd, because I really see myself more. And this is happening for all of us. Unity consciousness is a quantum leap. It's from the future, and we've all been there. Okay, and our future selves are here now saying, you don't need any of that. Money, as Franco pointed out, was the greatest separator, a brilliant gift, okay? Because
Right.
it totally worked. it totally worked, and it continues to take us to that max, the cliff, and kick us off, right?
Right.
So, what a gift to feel this scarcity, this lack. Like, I felt like a loser because I couldn't earn income for 13 years,
Yeah.
even though I had all these degrees
Yeah.
and I knew I was smart and I had a big car, but I had no money coming in. And I felt like pathetic. And then I see these spiritual people, which, no judgment. Everybody's exactly where they're meant to be. And it's to trigger me. And they're like, oh, I'm making 10,000 a month now, and I could show you how to do it and blah, blah.
Oh
And
my
again, I
God.
want to vomit. I want to vomit. And I'm like, hey, Charmaine, what's up here? What's wrong? Well, I finally stopped judging myself and feeling like
Right.
a loser. And that, what am I afraid of? Why can't I make money? And all these programs that's all part of the agreement. Beautiful design, right? But you feel like something's wrong with you until you realize, no, you're different. And Franco had told me before, like, he wasn't able to divulge to me the unity consciousness from the future, all that kind of stuff, because again, soul wants to learn on its own. Okay. So most of us, nobody's going to tell you who you are or fix you.
Right.
And you got to go within yourself. Right. Um, but okay. Oh, and now I forgot my point about what I was saying with Franco. Let me think for a second.
Well, I think you
So
were
much energy. Yeah.
yeah, you were
Go
talking
ahead.
about the like some of the things that he said to you, like there's no exchange, and
Yeah.
I feel a lot the same way. I think too the the transition from here to there. That's
Yes,
sort of not a good word. The it is all energy. Well, I think
it
Soulogy is a
is.
good. I think Soulogy is a good example. And again, I really don't. I'm not comfortable to keep bringing that up, but I think it's a really good example we can all relate to because it really is a reflection of the entirety, which is us. Okay, so if you look at this, that part of it where somebody received some information and it's going to be this network one day, or this woman in 2009 told the universe, I want to create this platform where you have people share their skills, abilities, experiences, and their lives, themselves,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
extrapolates the years down, evolves to this situation, and all of a sudden you come out of 2022, and I do believe that December 21st, 2022 was the end of that period. That 10 years was up, and now the new world's here. And 2023 has been that. Like, oh, wow, we talk differently. The telepathy is part of the conversation. I mean, it's just this whole thing's changing very rapidly. So this is one of the things, right?
Hmm.
We're not in this place of no exchange, total sharing, because we've already getting the information that it's not about giving and receiving. It's about sharing what you have, period.
Yeah.
Right? No
Yeah.
expectation. Yeah, hey, this is just the way this is lifestyle, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is it. So between here and there, and to me, what you are a testament to, and what you exemplify, is what we're starting to experience. And I believe a lot of people like you are doing this up front before the masses you kind of buy into it or fall into it. So same thing here. I mean, we put up a comment for 5+ years that said this is a free public service and we will never charge.
Yeah.
And
I
so
totally feel you.
here
Yeah.
comes this. YouTube, Facebook kicks us off. YouTube sending me notes. One more strike, you're gone. I'm like, what the fuck? We're not even talking about anything. We're
Yes.
not.
Yes.
I mean, harassment constantly, notifications,
Yes.
and so everything was going. Hello, 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 hello. You
You got.
need to walk the talk. And so, what I'm really getting down to is what I think that one of the things that you and those like you bring to the table, like even listening to you, it sounds like Morgan, right? Like just listening to
Aw.
the energy, it
Oh
sounds
my
like
gosh.
yeah. But I mean, so
That's amazing.
it's
Oh,
about
I remembered. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, love.
no, I'm just saying it's about value.
Okay. It is.
So
It's
we had
about
to
our
go.
currency. our
Yeah,
energy.
us, right. So
It's
like,
us. You're the
people,
source.
yeah, like people, I've had a couple of people, not many, the reception has been absolutely mind blowing. It's like, I don't even know who these people are. And I know, I pride myself in knowing every energy, every name. I've been doing it for so long. I'm looking at the list of people on the subscriber list. I'm like, I don't have these people. I don't even know who they are. So that's
Yeah,
telling
I
me
love it.
something. There's a whole bunch of
Yeah.
them, and they're all women.
Yes.
They've been waiting. They've been
Oh,
waiting. Morgan's told me this for years, and it's happening. Right? It's
it's
happening. This
happening.
show's been, I
Woohoo.
think, part of it, and that's been really an honor. But I guess what I'm just to tie it up, it's about value. And so I had a couple
Yeah.
people say, "Well, what if somebody wants to watch this show?" And I said, "Well, then they can become a subscriber." Because here's the thing,
Yes.
and like I was
Yes.
saying in the earlier thing today, it's not about the community and the instant messaging and the social network profile and the YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn components. It's not about that. It's
Yes.
about value. It's about me, Morgan, Soulogy, whatever. We have come to a place where we are going to claim our value and create it. And
Yes. Beautiful.
this other stuff, this is a gift. This is a sharing. That's all.
Yeah.
It's just basically
I love it.
climbing up a ladder and getting everything you can while you're there. Well, we might as well do it. We have the capacity to do it. So I think this is kind of what happens. So I'm interested in your case. Well, first of all,
Yeah.
it sounds like you've been a practitioner, and it sounds like
Yeah. Just not in the recognized. Yeah.
yeah, right. And you were in the same boat that we and many people, which is, do we charge? I mean, do we just run on
Yeah.
contributions and that's hell. I mean,
Yes, it
I
is. You have to balance. Yeah, you have to balance. You
you
do
have
have
to.
to balance, Otherwise, you're sacrificing. And that was another thing that, Franco in the end, he sacrificed. And I remember telling him so many times, like, Franco, and it was just part of his journey. Everything is,
Yeah,
perfect, designed by the soul. I feel that, it's not mistakes. And he was the one who said there's no mistakes. But what he said to me, I wanted to share, is that you came here not to fit in. One time in a session, Todd, the soul just burst through. My soul, he said. He said it only happened a handful of times. This is back in 2016, January. And all of a sudden, his voice changed, got quiet, and this whole different energy
yeah.
came through. And it was stern. It kind of
That
scared
that
me.
was your soul, your soul.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my soul. And I was like, man, it doesn't sound big. That sounds rough. It's kind of stern. And he said, yeah, it's a bit stern. It's got an extraterrestrial component. But, the soul said, you hold something so huge, you have
yeah,
no idea.
yeah,
And I was terrified. I'm like, what am I going to have to do? Like right away, the human just freaked out. And and that was hard. That was like what, 5, 6 years ago now. But
wow,
Franco also told me, you came here not to fit in, Charmony. You are a circle. You cannot fit into the square. Now, I did not understand what that fully meant until I could see myself, all as divine design by the soul in the perfect time, right? The opening occurs, you start to calm down, you start to realize all this shit and stuff you're carrying. And this is like for all of us, this journey is hella intense. And so, really, I finally realized, oh my God, I am here to bring this kind of quantum leap vibration of like, we can do this, guys. We can do this. We don't have to take years or decades or, oh my God, hundreds of years. Are you kidding me? No, and I'm
that's
serious.
where you
Yeah.
really got me a minute ago when you said that, because I'm the same way. And look, when I met Franco, he was
Yeah.
talking 2035. Jason
Yeah.
Estes,
He
same
was
thing.
talking.
Judith,
Yep. And
but
yeah,
Franco always
Judith just
said,
posted.
I saw that. But the thing is, it's like in the discussion with Franco, it's a snapshot at this moment. We've accelerated the timeline over and over and over and over again. And you are very high frequency, and you know that souls are just lined up to come here.
Yeah. Exactly, exactly. And we have that support now. I mean, things have really, really changed and we're all feeling it. I want you to tune into that, everybody. I want you to know there is no limits, no fucking limits. Okay. And I'm going to share an experience, an example that is going to show you this
Oh, you're going to be
because
coming on this
the,
show a lot.
oh, thank you so much. Oh my
Oh,
God.
you're something else. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you. Wow. Okay. So a couple of years ago, yeah, 2, 3 years ago, I paid a lot of money to work with a wonderful, heartfelt, integrative sister mentor. And I'd never done that. And I was like, my God, this wonderful person is going to help me to build my business. And I'm finally going to have something in balance where I feel worthy, like I'm earning, blah, 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 all this stuff. So we worked together for about 2 years. And like towards the last quarter, okay, it's like the last quarter, I feel this pressure cooker coming into me like, Sharmini, you don't have a business plan. You don't have nothing right now. Like, what the hell is going on with this? You paid all this money. We're talking like over $10,000. I had never paid that kind of money. I'd given away a lot of money.
Holy
Ten,
crap.
$20,000 to Franco, to Masterpiece Life, to Collective Evolution, because I want to be the change. So I gave away a bunch of my life savings and then ended up broke ass, almost broke ass. But I want to tell you, it was just, I had to do what I had to do. The soul's like, you got to experience this. And because I knew the world was going to change, it just took 10, 15 years longer, right, than what we all thought from back then in 2012. But it didn't matter. I had to walk the talk, right? So, oh gosh, I go off on these tangents. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So
Yeah.
the dream, right? So I want to share this with you because this is real, guys. This is amazing. So I'm sitting here feeling pressure, and I'm not into this business thing. I'm not into this traditional, like, even from the highest level, wonderful practitioners, it just doesn't fit with me. It's like, I can't make it work.
Right.
So suddenly my soul came in. I'm guessing it was my soul because I asked myself in my head, Sharmini, what do you really want? What do you really, really want? And you know what I said? Because I've been getting feelings and visions. I want my rainbow sparkle world. I want my rainbow sparkle world of unity and oneness. I see it. I see massive butterflies, bumblebees, beautiful winged ones, rainbow crystalline. You hop on, they take you over the crystalline mountains. You're flying over crystalline seas. We're talking Eden paradise. Okay. And I realized this isn't Charmony, the human. This is bigger than me.
Yeah.
This is my soul. This is in my soul, this vision, this gnosis. This is beyond dreaming. And I've had to hold on to that for 2 or 3 years and really just connect to myself, knowing it's real because it kept coming. Eagles come, circle over me, singing and doing all kinds. Like I'm so connected to Gaia, and I didn't even know that. But then I started to experience so much pristine Eden paradise. And I'm experiencing more and more now. And this is why I'm telling you guys, it's so close. And people would say, well, Shar, how are you going to make that? How's that going to happen? How are you going to make money with that? And I said, look, I've got to walk the talk. And this is what we're doing now. We're embodying. Okay. We're living and breathing and being it, not just talking it. You got to start living this, feeling it inside you. As within, so without. When you feel paradise inside, because you all have your own paradise, you all carry paradise codes and templates, your own stunning, pristine beauty. Okay, when you really tune into that and feel it more and more, it has to physicalize. You hold that frequency in that gnosis. So I would say to people, that's not my need to know how. This is where the childlike wonder comes in. This is where the joy, and I can really feel this sense of freedom finally. I felt it for 10, 15 years, but then it would go back into density because, again, this ultra marathon we seem to be on here because we're amazing, because we're fucking amazing. We just keep going. We just keep taking it to the max. We keep going. All these souls are like, shit, if it's over, we got to get in there. We need to
that's
get some
that's funny.
density. We need,
That's
yeah.
funny.
And,
I told Franco one time we were doing the show, and I said, because then we did like 54 shows, and I said to him, because it was one of
wow.
those where we were coming off of fluctuation, major fluctuation, and I said, hey man, next time you're in that that council meeting, will you tell them to slow it down? He goes, are you kidding me? I saw you there. You're the one telling everybody, hey, let's do it again. I'll get up no matter how many times we get knocked down. I said, yeah, you're right.
That's us, bro. That's us,
I
Looney
know,
Tunes.
man. I know, man.
But you know, we're so close now, and you
Yeah,
can feel it, you can taste it, you get essences, you get more
yeah,
gnosis, more of
yeah,
you returning to you. And
yeah,
that's the true unity. Franco would say, only in the present moment is unity there.
yeah,
And he's right.
yeah,
Only in this now is that everything is one. You are one with yourself because you know you feel the peace, you
yeah,
feel the presence, you feel your God essence.
yeah,
So we are sparking our God essence. We are opening our God gateway, and as Morgan talked about, the chakra that's at the base of the head and top of the spine, the Alta. I looked it up. It just was shown to me. Soul's been
yeah.
showing me through Facebook all
That
this
was stated at
different insight.
55 minutes and 55 seconds, by the way. I just want everybody to know that.
Woo! The God gateway, baby, the God gateway. And for me, the 555 is like source, it's unity, it's oneness. That's beautiful, Todd.
Were you
Thank
the
you
one
for
that
pointing
sent
that
me
out.
the? Were you the one that sent me the thing yesterday that? Because she was talking about the 3/23/2023, right? No, the 23
320.
3 20, because everywhere else in the world they do the date,
They
then
did.
the
That's
day, then the
in
month, right?
Australia.
Right.
Yeah,
So it was
exactly.
23 3 2023, right?
Yes.
So it was a palindrome, and I think up until the 29th, that's going on. Somebody sent me a note yesterday, and they said 23 3 23. Anyway, whatever it was 55 55.
Oh, wow.
So I
Wow.
can't
I
remember how
love
they did it,
that.
but it was laid out 55, and I thought, oh, there it is again, right?
The synchronicities, right, are off the charts right now. It's like critical mass and synchronicities, telepathy is on steroids right now, which is
Yeah,
another sign, guys. We're
yeah,
here. It is here. Paradise is here. Whatever you feel in your heart, don't let anything or anyone stop you. You came this friggin' far. I wasn't allowed to give up this time. I committed suicide in past lives, I was told, because I couldn't carry out all that I'd taken on. And this time, I'm so grateful. I wanted to die so many times this lifetime. I was like, please take that young mama with cancer and just let me take that and go. And I just was not allowed. And I wanted to get fentanyl and overdose, like just any way I
Jesus,
could,
that's
just
deep,
get the
man.
hell out of here. And honestly, I was not allowed, but I felt all those feelings. And Sven actually would share with me, my husband, that sometimes I'd be in darkness for 3 days and would be mad at him, angry, but feeling all this like just black toxic sludge. Now, I don't
Yeah,
remember that. I thought at the
yeah,
most a day. So again, it's like I figure it's kind of like childbirth or any of these massive intense experiences. You're not allowed to fully remember
yeah,
the depth of
yeah.
the
I think
pain, right? Like,
there's a lot to be said for
yeah,
that. My, it's okay to talk about these things now.
it's
I
good.
was
It's
talking
good,
to
man.
I was talking to my daughter yesterday, my youngest daughter, whose birthday's May the 8th. Her mother passed on May the 2nd, when
Oh,
she
yeah.
was turning 11. So it's always been a big deal, right?
Yeah. My
And
goodness.
she's very lit. She's the youngest. She's feminine. She's self-aware. She's fucking doer. I mean, she's the real deal. But
This is Ains. Is it
Anise,
Ainse? Anise.
yeah.
Because I saw Izzy's interview with you. Holy
Oh
shit, that
yeah,
was amazing.
Izzy's
You and
crazy,
Izzy.
right?
You get your
Yeah.
baby on when it's time. You get Anise
Oh
on. But
yeah. Oh,
okay.
well, yeah. I was actually talking to her about that last night too, and we did a
Love it.
show. She came to visit me in Arkansas, my birthday 2 years ago, so 2021, and she was right there next to me. And Izzy came on, and one of my sons came on. But anyway, this thing about so her mother. Well, first of all, let me say that the diagnoses that we have. First of all,
Yeah.
mental illness is not what we've portrayed it to be. If you look at the
Yes.
indigenous cultures, if you look at the Native Americans, they allowed these people because they saw these people as the shamans, the visionaries, they may not function as everyone else functions, but they would give them space and they honored their gifts.
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
really believe, because now her mother was very challenged, and of course, using the 3D terms, was diagnosed like schizophrenic, and chronic depression and borderline personality disorder. But
Yeah.
I was exposed to. I've never been exposed to that before,
Yeah.
and so the energetics of it. This was all leading up to 2012, and when I reawoke, 2011. But my point is that it's misconstrued, and what we're looking
Mhm.
at in terms of a liability is actually an asset. A lot like being an
Yes.
empath is today, right? Empath,
Yes, it's
and
inverted. It's
yeah,
inverted
it's gone the other way
in
now,
the
right?
upside down
Yeah,
matrix. Yes.
yeah. So yeah, I was
Yes.
just like, you know, that's a really that's a lot. I mean, it looks like, because I remember when you said that a minute ago about your 3 days. I remember the last 8 days I spent with her, and they were the darkest thing I've ever experienced. And on
Yeah.
the eighth day, at 1:11 in the morning, is when I got my jolt, and higher self appeared in the trees, and then everything started. I went to jail the next day. They left. I never saw them again. Right. So,
Wow.
so what I'm getting at is, now I can look back at it. Why did Jesus come in the trees? Why did I have this divine, the beginning of many divine episodes from that catalytic moment? It was because the souls had an agreement,
Yeah.
and that was her role, at least with me, was to catalyze.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my question with you is, like, first of all, how long have you been with your husband? He must be a hell of a man, as you are a hell of a lady,
Yes.
as you are a hell of a
Yeah.
lady. And
No.
how did you come out of it? How did you come into alignment after 8 years of that?
Wow. Yeah, and 14 years together. 14 years together, Todd. And honestly, Sven and I met on this online dating called eHarmony back
Mm,
in 2009. Okay,
yeah.
so I was about to get off of there. I'm like, this has not been a good experience. And same with him. And then boom, we were connected when I changed my profile to from not sure about children to doesn't want kids. Because all the men, not many, just the ones I'd connected with were all like, hey, do you want to have kids? Hey, do you want it was like the first question. So Sven already knew at a young age he didn't want children. It was just something he had. So we got set up. I got to tell you, right away, the emails, they were long and they were connecting. And then we spoke within a week, and it was like 6 hour phone call from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. We both went through two phones, it was amazing. And then we had 3 dates in 1 week, and it was love at
Oh,
first sight. There was a
mm.
electrical chemistry. It was amazing. And he looks nothing like what, I thought I would go for, whatever. It was pure heart connection. Same with him for me,
that's how
he's like
that's how it
this,
works.
he's this tall Danish dude,
Oh my
and
God. It's
it's
all
just
about
electrical.
polarities. It's all about
It
polarities.
is. It's a magnetic. Okay, so
Hmm.
we really experienced the magnet, and I related to some of the shares back in, a while ago with you and Morgan, and amazing what you guys have been through. And she came to visit the first time, and she's like, "I got to get the hell out of here." And then she wasn't allowed, right?
I
She wasn't allowed to
know. I
leave.
love that
Oh my
story.
God, I love that story because I found some voicemails I had messaged her back, and I said, "Oh my God, I relate to so much what you're sharing with me and
Yeah.
my beloved." So we were not allowed, as the true magnetic love. You go through absolute hell. It's just my own experience, but I feel others have that too. The gift is you're not allowed to give up, just like I wasn't allowed to give up on my life and not allowed to leave here. So then you can experience the gifts of the alchemy in the divine time. It's not the
Right.
human for me that I've
That's right.
learned. The human's not in charge, okay? It's predetermined. It's been set up by your divine soul design. It's not you that's an F up or screwing up. Because I would say, like, why is this pattern not changing between Sven and I? This is so traumatizing for us. But it had to go on for however long it had to
Yeah.
go on. There
Yeah.
was expansion there. The human's
Yeah.
not going to get that. Now, the opening comes when the opening comes. And so this last little while, we always had a lot of fun. We had a lot of laughter. We had a lot of love. We had a lot of pain. We pushed each other's wounds big time. And I carried so much. And, I can see that I signed up for this shit. And then he's like, hey, man, I'll come support you. And then it was also like, and I'll trigger the hell out of you and you'll trigger the hell out of me back. Like, again, this crazy take it to the max and beyond, right?
Yeah.
So, but here's the gift. The deeper, and we know this, but it's beautiful to remember, the deeper pain that you experience, my dear friends
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
my dear beautiful souls here, the deeper the love, the deeper the gifts on the
Yeah.
other side. 1 billion%, I can totally promise you that, because it's the way it's set up. You cannot go through the depths of hell and
No.
pain
No.
and survive that and still be here and not get to the other side. Okay, you're going to get the absolute opposite of the worst of the worst of the worst that you experience. And I'm going to say even beyond that, the
Yeah.
gifts, because the mind, we can't even imagine.
No.
Like the things I described in the rainbow sparkle world, like I see floating crystallized waterfalls, I see holographic, whatever you want in your pure heart. Okay, you're going to get, it's your soul is going to transmit through as you let go of all your mind ideas, your programs, your identities, who you think you are, and you let the soul
Yeah.
become one with the human.
Yeah.
Okay, and all your gifts are coming back now. Everything's becoming whole again, unified and beautiful. This being is just returning. And I even saw a scene in Avatar 2, which was a crazy traumatizing movie for many of us empaths. I was like, what the hell was that? It was so
I
violent.
haven't seen it, but from what I've heard from people, it almost sounds like, and I don't watch shit anymore that comes out of Hollywood, and I'm sorry, but I just can't do it. But
Don't be
anyway,
sorry, man.
but it almost looks like it was a premeditated, kind of like a counterproductive, counter
Yeah.
insurgency kind of thing, you know?
I agree. I agree. And some of my friends who like took their kids and like they said, oh yeah, they were bawling through it, but they said, oh, I think it's just a representation of our world right now. So like there's all kinds of things on the spectrum. For me, I was shell shocked. I'm like, what the hell? Machine gun fire for like an hour and a half, like every 10 minutes, screaming and like just
You might as well get pulled over
craziness.
by the cops and say, I'm not rolling down my window. I'm not rolling down my window. You get a bunch
Seriously,
of
I'm like,
screaming.
what? But there was some beauty. There was some beauty. There's this beautiful beings that are water beings that are in this tropical place about halfway through the movie. And I got to tell you something I had been shown when I went to an island near here. I was taken by my soul to a beach that had all these beautiful rock formations. And suddenly I saw crystalline diamond temples and triangles and pyramids rising. And I saw these iridescent dolphins flying out.
Yeah.
And I saw what used to be there. I saw what used to be. It was Lemuria and paradise. And I felt all this beauty. And in those rocks, Todd, you could lay in those rocks in the good weather. I saw us in mermaid bodies and all different bodies, whatever you choose. But I saw us like all different beings resting in these beautiful crystalline healing waters of these gorgeous shaped, smooth, scalloped level rocks. And so that scene was actually shown to me in Avatar. And I'm like, holy shit, thank you.
Really?
It's
Wow.
real. Yes. Yes. So there was, I was shocked because the visions are so stunning, the paradise visions. And
Yeah.
I even received one day I just was guided to go to nature this spot. I sat on a rock. The sun is shining right on me all of a sudden. It was cloudy, the sun opens up. So I kind of go into a bit of a daze. Like I'm just like, whoa, sitting on this rock, and all of a sudden I hear, you are Eden. You are Eden. You hold the codes and the
Yeah.
templates for Eden. And I was kind of freaked out. I sat with it for a few days and then I was able to share with my wonderful mentor at the time. But, I just share that because we all hold this. I'm saying this to
Exactly.
activate, yeah, activate your own knowing, man.
Yeah.
our pristine friggin' paradise. Okay. So it's time now to remember. It's time to know this. Beyond believing is to
Right.
know,
Right.
is to know. And so whatever you need to do to just breathe and to relax and come back to you, because the one we're seeking for is ourself. Okay, is that unity with self. Because when you become one with yourself, there's no holes in your field. Nothing can attack you. No darkness, no being, no whatever. None of this shit can
Right.
touch you.
That's right.
Okay. And that's when you return to the powerful creator that you are through your pure heart portal. You don't need to use your mind. Your mind will integrate with your heart and your soul, all unified, all becoming one again, all returning to one. And I've been hearing this lately, all one, all one. I am one. I am one. So, whatever you need to do to slow down, to create some space in your life to breathe, and to just bring yourself, I am here. I am here. I am here right now. I start to say that to myself through the day, wherever I am, because it just brings that presence, that unification, the now moment back, right? So you could be driving, your kids could be, and you're like, ah, I am here right now. And like teach this to your kids. Do this with your husband. Do this with your siblings. Just who cares if they listen or not, but just say, hey, can we just breathe for a minute? Can we just harmonize our hearts or just feel the calm for a moment? Because this is an inside job and you are everything. You are all this. You're the solar flares, you're the geomagnetic storms, you're the sun, you're the
You're
earth,
the
you're all
Illuminati.
of it. You're the
You're the
Illuminati. That's right.
Pleiadians. You're the
Hey,
Pleiadians and the
man.
reptilians. And you know
Exactly. They're,
what? And here's the other thing
yeah.
too. Like what I really am excited about is there's less and less projection. And
Yes.
when I project or I see projection, whether it's sent to me or not, it's so easy to see now. And
Yes.
for me,
Yes.
that's like, you know, when you get something, when you know something, it's gotten to the point now where because of the integrity quotient, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to point it out to somebody. You don't have to say, "Oh, look, this is how I did it, and this is why I did it, and this is who I am." All that's going away. So these projections, this is coming to me in like the last 10 days. Projections are simply what occurs when the projector is unwilling to face their own vulnerabilities and bullshit. That's the way I talk to myself. Okay,
Wow.
but in other words, I can see it now in others, and I because of that, that's probably not a great way to explain it, but because that download came in and embodied in me, I see him with compassion. I can see it.
Wow.
I can see it. But
Beautiful.
of course, it started with me. But then at the other side of that is because we're able to see more, then
Yes.
we're asked to be more. So I'm being
Yes.
asked to be responsible. It's not enough to see something and know something, even if you know it. Because if we know it, that doesn't mean we've applied it, right?
Yes.
We haven't.
222. Just
There
had
we
to
go.
say that's 222 year.
Yeah. This, yeah. Yeah. And yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's real.
Yes.
I always keep an eye. You see my eyes flowing around. I'll always keep an
Yeah.
eye on the numbers, and sometimes I'll mention it, sometimes one. But yeah, really,
You,
this
you got
whole
to embody, like you
yeah.
said. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, Morgan will say being an empath used to be a weakness. Now it's a superpower. So
Yes.
I don't think you,
Finally.
yeah, I don't think you can exercise that superpower by still allowing our lesser angels to keep us rooted in the perceived and illusionary imperfections of the empath because we're all
That's right.
empaths. Just some people,
That's right.
their role is to say,
Yes.
hey, I'm tired of being with
Yes.
narcissists, and You know, the whole
Yeah.
thing that was a big part of the early light worker communities in the 2012, 2013, 14 was all about empaths, empath support
Yes,
groups. Yeah,
wow. Our true essence, as Franco would say, is pure divine source love, is
yeah,
empathy, is connection, is telepathy and feeling through the heart. So, absolutely. And, I love the other thing Morgan was bringing up in your recent sessions, which have been amazing. The Equinox one blew me away, but so many. I want to share a synchronicity. You said it was session 4, I believe. It is done. Well,
yeah.
that same time I listened to that night, I was out taking on a mastery initiation by my soul, and I came back and I was voicing Morgan right after. I was still in that state, and I said, "Mission accomplished. It is done." And I listened to you,
Hmm.
and you had just put up that recording, and you said, "It is done." And then the
Yeah.
whole thing about the comet and the sperm and the
Oh,
womb
that's
of
crazy.
creation is now here. It is awesome, and the mother has landed.
Yeah,
Like, we have so many signs now, guys.
yeah,
And Morgan says, and I love this, look at your outside. Just look at your outside, because that's going to tell you what's on the inside.
yeah.
Now, you're not here to beat yourself up, because
No,
remember, whatever it is by design. But can you start accepting? Just start accepting. The self acceptance theme is so huge. And I have these cards from like 2012.
beautiful.
Look at this. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, that's
There we go.
beautiful. Yeah,
So this card just keeps coming up because, again, the greatest war is the war within. And when we judge ourselves because, oh, my life's a mess, I'm a mess, or,
right.
I still have been having, despite tremendous inner work for like 25 years, in the last 3 or 4 years, all I did was a deep dive into self mastery. But this is how prevalent and how deep these programs run, as by design, because it's brilliant. It has its own time. But I still noticed recently that there was this inner war as I'm here on retreat.
Yeah,
You should be outside. You should be in nature. You should
yeah.
be meditating. You should be grounding. And I was up at 6 a.m., Todd, and at 12 noon, 6 hours later, I finally get out there and I get a download from Soul. And I'm crying because it's so much love. And it says, "Do you know who you are? Do you know that you are a child of God? You are God. You are source. You are this incredible, brilliant human is the hero." What you and Morgan say, and I have downloaded, hero is human evolving, realizing oneness.
Human
That you
evolving,
are
realizing one's.
evolving,
I like
realizing
that.
oneness is
Yeah,
hero. I got that after a yoga class like six
that's
years ago.
badass. That's a
It is
that's
pretty awesome.
yeah.
We
Well,
should
that
make a
should
rap.
human. What did you say? Human what?
Evolving, 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 realizing oneness is the acronym for
R O.
HERO,
Yeah,
hero, hero,
that's a great little saying there. God, you
isn't
said a
it?
lot there. You said a lot. So I just want
Yeah,
to use one example because I want to make sure
yeah,
it embodies within me, and then because I relate to what you're saying about this whole non-judgment thing. Because
yes,
I really kicked into that after the first Soulogy Fest, and Morgan had gone back to Australia, and I go back to our home, and
yes,
I'm like, okay, there's some major shit about to go down. I started fasting. I stopped drinking for a while. I mean, I just different things, you know. But the main thing was, from the day I got back, was things would appear, and the first thing I would say, no judgment. And I did it every
beautiful.
day, all day long, and it started to materialize in my life. But so, like the example of what she says, and she tells me all the time since she met me. And remember, we're polarities. So she's because she's orderly.
Yeah,
I mean, she's got
yeah,
everything right where it needs to go. Everything's, I mean, it's constant maintenance, and you know, and it's a beautiful vibe to be in, and I can tap into it sometimes. And sometimes
yeah,
I'm like a teenage kid, right? So,
yeah. You
but
are you.
yeah, but still, what she's saying is true. But the way you explained it, I think it deserves some recognition and some expansion on it because okay, so if you take and this actually happened to me like 3 or 4 days ago because she was telling me we were talking. She goes, you know, and I've said this before, and I'm like, yeah, what your environment looks like is a reflection.
Ah,
Now you're taking a little further. You're saying whatever it looks like, accept it as you. Okay,
Accept it,
right?
man.
But
Accept it. I love, yes.
that's you said that. I didn't say it. And so
Yes.
what I was getting the other day was okay. I got off the call and I thought, this the bedroom's nice and clean, the kitchen's a freaking mess. And here she's saying she just said that to me, and like she can't see it, although she is kind of a witch. She probably can't see it, but that's
Remote
probably
viewing.
right. Remote viewing. So I went and I looked at the kitchen, and I had left some dishes in the sink for like a day.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal, but I'm living by myself in a small place. But and I started a judgment, and I went, wait a minute, wait a minute, hang on a second. If and we'll just use Morgan as an example. If Morgan, since she was a kid, was squeaky clean, and Todd, since he was a kid, never even made his bed,
Yep.
then where I've gone to in terms of orderliness may not look like where she's evolved to because I'm coming from a different place. So
Yes.
so proportionate to where I've come from, I'm killing it, man.
You're
Because
doing
it's
amazing.
but you know what I mean because it's not just your
Yeah.
environment. Don't get and I'm not, I'm
Oh,
not knocking what she's saying because it's true, but like most things that she says, which took
yes.
me a long time to figure out. Okay,
Yeah.
and I'm not a dummy. I'm not saying I'm the smartest person, but it's energetic and it's metaphoric. So
Yes.
instead of getting like, why do I have my shirt from yesterday laying on this chair? Right?
Yeah.
Why do I have a towel on the floor over there when I was playing music the other night? I didn't want people to hear, so I covered the bottom. Okay, and it's still there. Well, wait a minute. What about all the other space around me that isn't defined by 3D or what I can see and sense with my five senses? What about my work at Soulogy? What about my role as her partner? What about my role as a father? Like you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I do get what she's saying more now than ever. But
Yeah.
your little addition to it, I think is very notable because whatever I'm looking at, what did Franco say? Unity consciousness is only available in the present, right?
In the
So
present moment.
in the present moment. So
Yes.
whatever my
Exactly.
room looks like right now, it's not about
Exactly.
the state of its affairs. It's about
No judgment, man.
do I
No
do I
judgment.
yeah, do I own this? Do I own it?
Yeah.
Look,
And
we spend
and
enough
can I?
time. Yeah, I want you to. We spent enough time owning our traumas. Let's own our superpowers. Go ahead. Sorry,
Yeah, I love it.
you get me
No, no.
excited.
Yeah, I love that you're expanding on this, Todd, because this has been my greatest lesson and led to the greatest transformation for me. Accepting myself and my life and my mess, because I'm a perfectionist reforming. So I procrastinate decluttering, cleaning up,
Right,
beat the hell out of myself
right.
and tried to even my mentor did some process. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to declutter. Hell no. I'm exhausted. I don't want to, but also my body was so trying to heal from all this. And yet the beating up, Todd, the beating up creates more
Yeah,
disconnect, more
yeah,
separation, more pain in the body, more war.
yeah.
Okay. So the number one thing that will change everything is when I started to coach myself because it's my soul holographic movie and it's been predetermined. Every single bit of it serves. Not this idea that society teaches you or energy, whatever practitioners, your mess is cluttering, blah, 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 blah. No, we're all unique here. We're all perfect. If I am truly perfect as I am, and my life is perfect because it's my movie, okay, without the judgments, that is simply just happening. It's actually playing out. I had to sit there in the middle of the war of ripping myself apart. And I did this for like the 10 years that I was left with my own thoughts, was ripping myself apart. I would go from room to room. I was so overwhelmed with thoughts and what I should do and I couldn't
Wow.
do and what a loser I am. It was just ripping me apart and feeling like so shitty. I couldn't cook. I couldn't clean. What the hell? Like I'm just a liability. I'm a nobody. I'm anyway. And so what I want to say to you is when I finally learned to accept that Charmony, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do
Yeah,
right now. This
that's right.
mess, this whatever's not, You see that beating up, that criticalness is the inverted matrix programming. Okay, that is made there to
Absolutely.
make you feel less than, and it plays a beautiful role. But now we're done that shit. We're
Yeah.
done that shit. We're
Yeah.
done the inner war. This is about unity now. I accept all of me
Right.
because honestly, Todd, our mess, that is providing a very sensorial experience. And it's
That's
exactly what's needed, that unique part of the masterpiece to be uploaded into the source databanks. And when you think it's supposed to be something else, or you think you're supposed to be someone else, and I had a whole body image, like I hate going on camera, I hate pictures, I look super big, it does this distortion thing. And I just had to, keep on accepting, keep on loving. And it was
mm,
hard because I also had an eating disorder for 23 years. But the greatest gift is just, Charmony, Todd, you're doing exactly
yeah.
what you're supposed to do right now. Because even in the inner war, there's growth. But when you have space to accept, you create an opening for awareness to come in. And then you can really start to change because you start to calm down. You're not in this anxiety and this war and ripping yourself apart because
Mm.
you think you're supposed to be doing something else. Like when I finally got outside and that soul transmitted, tears came down my face because I felt waves of love washing over everything, everyone. Waves of love. You see how you look at your pet or maybe your children, like pets are a perfect example. They can be fat, skinny, throwing up, messy, a pain in the, and you just love them. They don't have to change. They
Well,
don't have
and
to
and
look better.
you can be fat, skinny, da 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 da, and they
Exactly.
love you.
Yeah,
you know.
thank you. You know what? It's the light. I was shown
Hmm.
you're not the body. You're
Right.
not any of this external. And when we go to light body, which we're starting to transition now, guys, okay, that light, I have been shown gemstones in the skin, gemstones, sparkling rainbows in the eyes, gemstones in the hair. You get to be anything through your pure heart portal in your own integritous soul design. But I'm talking beauty that you have can't even
Yeah.
fathom. Okay. And it is not going to be a physical pull. It's going to be colors and energy. And
Right.
it's going to be the soul songs. The soul songs. I saw the beings and they have soul songs, and it's like, oh, these soul songs want to play together, so these beings come
Right.
together and do this. And yeah,
Right.
so it we're going beyond, and it is the brightness
You
of
know
your
that.
purity, your
Yeah.
light.
You know that drawing she did that's got like the people and there's this gold. You know what I'm talking about? And
Yeah,
it almost looks
yeah,
like a carousel.
yeah, sort of like
That's
the lamp behind me in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. So that's what I'd been seeing. Not that picture, but as you're saying this, it reminds me of it. That what's
yeah,
happening is like you said earlier, it starts in the energetic field first, right? But like
yeah,
it's almost like where those golden things come together, like the higher selves are getting closer and closer.
yeah,
The
yeah,
handoff is quicker or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, but I just liked what you said, and that she just put up a comment. Like she was actually in that case talking about somebody's mess in my space, right?
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. That's yeah,
I was really talking about her talking about this, and again, energetically, metaphorically over the years, and then what you added to it, which is what because y'all are the same type of frequency. Which again, like I said, it took me a long time
yeah,
to hear somebody that was very galactic because when they speak, they don't speak in they speak in a much broader term and a much higher level of intelligence. So it's an energetic, metaphoric type of thing, not to be taken literal, only literal. Okay, but I think the part about
yeah, yeah,
whatever is in space can be space. Space is space. Space could be your work. It could be your relationship. It could be this, that, the other thing. Can you? How do you feel about it? Do you accept
yeah,
it? Are you
yeah.
in the 0 point with it? Are you? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Does it rattle you? Does
Yes.
it? You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah.
and I think that's like a
You
really
nailed it.
simple way. I didn't say it though. You did. But I'm just,
Oh, well,
but
you're
I'm,
saying
but
I
I'm
love
saying
it because
like
now,
to me that's a real simple. I'm a real simple. Like I just I can get into
yeah,
complicated conversations or whatever the case, but I really like to apply simple things in my life, and the way that speaks to me is, well, it's every moment, right? It's when I walk in the bathroom,
yeah,
from how it looks,
yeah,
how it is set up, or when I walk outside, how does the day look? How do I feel about the
yes,
day? Oh, to hell with you, or there's clouds in the sky, or it's raining, or whatever, it's leaking in my car, and like how do we take that moment by moment by moment? Because I don't know about you, but I have found, and I'm actually kind of amazed at the level of revelations I've had this month, the
me
frequency of
too.
them, the impact on my psyche, and I'm talking
Yeah,
about little things that you go, oh, I didn't realize I was carrying that.
yes,
Morgan writes something to me. I don't even know. It was a couple days ago, and I read it, and it was crazy because obviously there's a lot of stuff going on. You mentioned the 23rd and all that, and I read it, and I thought, whoa. When she used to write that, I used to think this, or when she's written this, I've
ah,
seen this, and I
yeah,
just realized she actually, and it's that whole different perspective of communication. Like I see myself very organic, she's very galactic, but it doesn't really matter. This is an example. But my point is, in that moment, I realized, I went, oh. And so I didn't carry it with me. It was a
mm,
benevolent kind of thing that was stated to me.
mm-hmm,
Yet I couldn't see that all this time because of my own, right? Which is what we go through. But the
yes,
cool thing is like everything this month, it seems to be progressing. It comes, boom, you get it, you become aware of it, and it's done,
yeah,
right?
yes,
It's done.
yes,
It'd
the
be pretty,
perfection.
right? Like it's
Yeah,
pretty hard to go against your soul when that happens.
mm-hmm,
Like, oh, okay,
yes.
well, okay, but I'll change in a month. Like your soul's gonna kicking you in the ass as you're walking down. No, you're not gonna change in a month. You're gonna do it now, and you'll respect
Yes,
that. Yeah, because
there's
it's
only
you.
the
You respect
now.
it.
There's
Yeah,
only the now now. We're
yeah,
not really allowed to, put stuff off. And I just love what you said there, Todd, because you added a huge component to that. Everything is neutral
yeah,
until you put your perception
yeah,
on it. And we
yeah.
need to embody that now. We need to realize we're all unique. This
Right.
society standards and the brainwashings, if you have to look a certain way, act a certain way, live a certain or whatever, it doesn't matter, and it's that you are unique. So
Yeah,
when you stop beating yourself up anytime that subtle program, you should, you got it. And you know what would
yeah.
happen is I had all this heaviness put on me. I couldn't get out of the house
Mm.
and I wanted to. And then it was like I couldn't. And, how do you explain that to someone? But it's energies, it's programming, it's agreements. I had dark implants, technologies, all
You were
kinds of
doing the
stuff.
work. You were doing the
What's
work.
that? I was doing the
You were
work
doing the
and I
work,
couldn't
and
get the hell out
yeah,
of the house. And it's like, I want to go to nature, but I can't. And then the beating up. Now, of course, there's a lot of sensorial expansion if there's no mistakes and everything's by design. The
right.
only thing we need to do is to accept ourselves in every moment. And when you do, and the body gets to relax, it's not in war. And this is all now about relaxing our nervous system. Guess what? Soul can come in more.
Right.
Your galactic, your multidimensional downloads, your DNA can activate. Your energy is not cut off and constricted. Because just this is all about feeling now. It's all about,
Yeah.
wait a minute. How am I feeling right now?
Right.
Oh shit. I feel ripped apart. I feel bad. I'm feeling like, I can't get this done or, overwhelmed. Okay, let's step back. Let's
It's very
breathe.
true.
Let's look at this and just do the work to neutralize 0 point. Do the work to come back to yourself because your soul loves you and source loves you no matter what. Okay? No matter what you did, didn't do, should have done, fuck this. It's really, it's really that you are loved and you are perfect. What if you could
um,
embody that? I
yeah.
am perfect as I am. in this moment, this is perfect. What happens is a calming down, and then the flow can come in, solutions or
Yeah.
what needs, but nothing's going to change because I willed the hell out of myself. I pushed myself through 3 degrees, working right from 12 years old, right through all my degrees, kill myself, and then throwing up, binging, purging, hated it, doing it at 5 a.m., hardly sleeping, taking on everyone's emotions, feeling responsible, all this crazy stuff. And honestly, I had to undo all of that. And
Yeah.
only when I could, and then the beating up, self destruction, self hatred. I share these things because many of us carry them. And I didn't know
Of
that. I
course.
felt ashamed. But now I realize, speak your truth, be transparent. There's nothing to be ashamed about. And then others are like, oh shit, I was addicted to Facebook because I had nothing else. I just sat there laying in bed, no energy, feeling like shitty and a loser, and then I get to see everybody else doing this, living their life, being awesome. And I'm like, oh, I'm even worse than I thought. Like it was all part of the experience. And even now, I still struggle with the technology, seeking and looking at YouTube and want to catch up on this person. But it's all starting to fall away,
Yeah.
Todd, as I relax,
Yeah. That's
relax.
true.
Just
And
be.
you said a lot there too. And you know, I think for me too, and again, I don't believe this is me. Um, so like this year, another characteristic would be you have something. Well, we use the word trigger, right? Something triggers you. So let's just say the trigger we're talking about is a change in your emotion. Which
Okay.
which computes into a chemical alteration within your body that normally would
Yeah.
cause a reaction or projection or whatever. So the understanding that it's not about how it happened or who was the culprit. It's not about that.
Yeah.
It's about your feeling, your barometer
Yeah.
that's coming
Yeah.
online quantumly just had a change of direction. So for me, what it's become, and this started for me late 2019, and it took a lot of alone time, especially after Morgan went back to Australia. I mean, it was a lot of just sitting there. I feel this. I feel this. And away from the story, oh, so and so did this. That really pisses me off. Okay, wait a minute. I'm pissed off. That's where I need to be. And it sounds crazy. And I don't know if it works this way for everybody, but I'm seeing people. I feel like what I'm seeing is that people are, yes, getting more in touch with themselves, even in these ways that sound very mundane and human, right?
Yeah.
But
That's the real deal.
yeah.
That's the real deal, man. Because if you can't be with you,
Hmm.
if you can't be with all of you, the ugly, the dark, the pain, the rage, the worst agony, if you can't be with yourself, then you're splitting, you're
Yeah.
separating.
Yeah.
It's never going to be reflected. Unity's never going to come for you on the outside. You got to be with all of you. Hold yourself.
Yeah.
Be that space for you. That's where all the separation ends. This separation ends when I can be with all of
Yeah.
me and become one with me. Because, there's a perfection, man. The movie was designed. You came to play it out and to become awake and aware in divine timing so that you could unify, so that you could bring yourself back to one. And then it will be shown to you in physical on the outside.
It's a hell of a
Yeah.
game, isn't it? We designed this one.
Woo!
This one is the. This one is
Man,
the. This is the. Man, Game of Thrones ain't got shit on this. I mean, this is like the Game of Oneness. I don't even know how to explain it. But
this is
wow.
the game of all games, bro.
Yeah,
This is the ultimate. Only the masters, only the masters come here. Remember that.
that's
Your
right.
master agreed to forget so you could remember. And when you do, look out. Look out. You come back to you and everything changes.
Uh, so we had. I'll end with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that woman. She always comes in at the right moment. So we had this. there was a group session we did, one of her group sessions, and this is in the last week. So anyway, what happened in the thing was I found myself. It was the sperm one, I think. Okay, but I don't think I talked about it all. But so what happened was we were talking later. I was told, step out of your body and turn around. I'm looking at the human, seeing all of his perfect imperfections, understanding everything, but he's there and I'm here, right? And so like the next day, well, she didn't do that session. It was a session. She didn't do the session because she was facilitating.
Okay.
And she just couldn't, because sometimes she has help and she didn't have it that day, and there was a whole bunch of people. So the next day, or the next session, she did it, and the same thing happened to her. And her higher self said, as she turned around and looked at the human, and the compassion, and oh wow, that wasn't even real, and all that stuff came in, said to her, give her an Oscar and create a new script.
Yeah.
That's like, so if that happened to a woman and a man that was in a group of 15 people and however many people were in the group, the next group she did that I didn't go to, and then of course, like honey, like bees, spreading the honey. How many people are energetically, regardless of what that narration would be, getting to that point? And I firmly believe, like I look at the influx of people since the 10th of March, like 280 people now, come into this community, and it almost doesn't make sense.
Oh,
Because,
I love that.
you know what I mean? Because it's not like we went and planned something out and day one we're going to do it, and it's not like that. It's like there's this element of, I'm going to call it for what it is, because it's fucking what it is. And and this is a place that we need to stop acting like a child, is the way I would put it. And this is me talk to myself. Trust.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, to me, love, truth, trust, all the same thing.
Yeah.
Different words for something that doesn't have a word. And and that's what I see. Is it trust of a particular individual, of this couple, of this group, no, it's just the consciousness of trust that has a face on it. Like in this case, it says Charmony, Morgan, Todd, Soulogy, whatever it may be. People, and that's where I'm come to, because like I know that the oneness never ends, and I know that what we're doing here, everything comes down to the physical thoughts, words, and actions. Like that's the most powerful, energetic move we can make. All timelines, all dimensions. So like as an example, I know that as the days go by, more and more people that maybe went like this, like say colleagues, professionally, personally, whatever, it's incumbent upon me.
Yeah.
The I am, the
creator,
soul, to bring them back. And if
Yep.
it means that someone might not take my personal overture, then that's okay. Because I won't think any less of them, and I won't think any less of me. I'll just keep going about my business, right? And I'm using myself as an example, but I see us doing that. You can call it building bridges. You can call it building bridges. You call it whatever you want, because I got news for you. This whole talk about a great divide and two Earths and everything, I think that was part of the program. I think that ascension, there's an ascension that is natural and organic and perfectly ordered, and there's an ascension like everything else. It's a program. And so if you think about the Great Divide,
of falsity.
Well, yeah, but if you think about the Great Divide, what does it do immediately? It creates two camps.
Yeah.
Immediately. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. All I'm saying is, hey, wait a minute. Aren't we all supposed to be...
You're already split. You're already separated.
Yeah, aren't we
How
all
are you going to
supposed to
unify?
be like walking together?
That's right.
She had this vision, I don't even know, like 6 months ago, or a dream. I think it was a dream. She had a lucid dream, and everybody of us, the us, right? right? The light
Yeah.
workers, the star seeds, the people that are awake, whatever the connotation. They're walking in a line.
Whatever.
They're walking, and there's a line, right?
Yeah.
And she knows from the dream, when we cross the line, we'll be there. We'll be in the 5D, right? And the funny thing was, we crossed the line, and everybody that was back there is here too. And I thought,
I
oh,
love it.
wow. Yeah, I did too. I thought, oh,
That's
there we
you.
go. There we go, though.
Yeah.
Right? There
There's
we
the
go.
oneness.
The
Because you are
paradoxical.
the
Yeah.
one. You are the friggin' one. So when you realize that, it's all you. It's
Mm-hmm.
all one here, split playing game, and you trust you as creator, the big you, then everything on the outside changes to reflect
Right.
that. You just have to hold that and know it.
Man.
I love it. We're taking everyone who's meant to be because it's all just soul choices, but don't worry about it. Don't worry
Yeah.
about the details, man. You know, when you get there, whether you're a partner or your cats or whoever, you're not even going to feel any separation or worry or pain because you're going to be exactly where you need to be, and so are they. And if they're meant to be there, they will. And if not, they're in their own playground. Like, I don't worry about details because it's
Yeah.
not about that. It's about me
Yeah.
being one with me, not holding on to anything else. And real quick, I love that dream, the comet analogy that Morgan shared. I had a comet thing come in 2 days prior, and it was like, look out, the comet is back.
Holy
So I just
shit.
want everyone to know that's you. You're the friggin' comet, and you're back.
Hey,
Now it's up to
she's the
you.
comet. I'm the womb.
I know. I didn't. Then the sperm thing came up later that it
I
was
was
I
like,
love that.
I was like,
I loved it.
yeah.
But it was a comet going through the
Oh no.
galaxies, and
Oh
I
no.
have been told I'm like a comet, and I just race through galaxies. But I had to learn to relax, like
Yeah.
thoroughbred horse that's let off and just takes
Yeah.
off. So anyway, everything now, guys, is about relaxing.
Yeah.
Try to have more fun. You're going to feel a lot of stuff, but be gentle with yourself, man. I'm
Yeah.
exactly perfect as I am.
Yeah.
If I'm supposed to be doing something else right now, I would be. So I'm supposed to be sitting here in this mess, feeling what I'm feeling. Can I
Yeah.
feel that and accept it? Then you'll see it transforms. That's the key, not forcing and willing. I did the forcing and willing. The eating disorder kept myself at 105 pounds or whatever for 23 years, emaciated, but I couldn't do it anymore. That's not how we're supposed to be. We're here to free flow, man. Free flow is accepting and organically allowing soul to just come through because you're not fighting and ripping yourself apart.
That's
So
right.
it's beautiful. That's
That's
where we're
right.
going, man. That's where we
That's
are.
right.
We're here.
So I'm so yeah. Raise the roof.
I'm
So
serious. I got my sparkle top on too.
yeah.
So ready to party,
You
guys.
know.
Ready to party.
I'm gonna have to the original uh, the original Soulogy One Studios. I had a disco ball.
Ooh,
My youngest daughter gave me a disco ball. The one I was
love it.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what that reminds me of. Hey, listen, I
Anish,
had
I love
no
it.
idea. I didn't mean to keep you so long. I should have asked if it was okay.
No,
But
it's perfect. I'm
yeah,
super energized now. Thank you, man.
yeah.
This has been fucking awesome.
So I didn't know it was going to be this awesome. So I mean, everything just every show, everything just seems to be like expanding, and I don't know. It's just really cool. But it's really a pleasure to
Oh my
finally be able
gosh.
to like actually fully integrate, with Soulogy community, and I really
I
would
love
love
it.
to collaborate with you again, and love to get you and your partner on here.
Love to. Love
If
to.
he's open
Love
to
to.
it, and we could do that like right away if you want to, and
Sure,
yeah, like in
men
the
could do that.
next few days, and yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, and thank you. There's certain people out there that I'd never seen you on video. I'd never seen your face, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I
Yeah.
don't get to explore a lot, but your energy in the comment section
Oh,
and otherwise, there are
oh,
people like you that we should all stop and take a moment for, because they're not the ones out there in front of everybody, but they are. Look, there's 280 people in
oh.
subscribed right now, and I'll bet you, I actually counted them the other night.
Yeah.
there was like 10 men. The majority, obviously, but that follows suit with the communities, and it'll continue to equalize, right?
Yes,
But
yes.
I'd say half are quiet, feminine, reserved, powerful, connected, and to me, they are the grid.
Beautiful.
They
Thank
are.
you for
Yeah.
recognizing all of us, Todd, you and
Yeah.
Morgan, the unseen. It was very hard because I was unseen, I was unvalued.
Mm.
And I would cry and say to Sven, I have so much to give, and I don't feel that I'm seen. And
Yeah.
so now I finally had to see myself. So all the beauties, men, women, whoever you are out there, see yourself. See yourself
Yeah.
because you are the one. You are the one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This
I
has just
appreciate
been
it.
amazing.
Yeah, you take care, and I'll see you soon. And
Ah,
talk to your partner and see if he's up for doing a show with a crazy Mexican.
I love it. Now we're apart right now, Todd. So quick question, could you get both
Hmm.
of us on
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
separate locations?
Yeah.
Perfect. I know you're the technology
Yeah.
king.
No,
You
I'm
got it
not.
down pat.
No, I'm not. I'm
Well,
just
you're
the
damn
host.
good at it.
I'm
You've
just the
learned a
host.
lot.
All right. You take care. Thank you. Peace
Yes.
out.
Love you.
Thank you,
Love
everybody.
y'all.
All right.
Mwah.
Take care. Take care.